Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm finally going to do actually I'm not going to say finally because I think it hasn't really been that long since I did the haul from Ulta, but I have already had a chance to test everything out, so I'm here to just do the update for you in case there is any items that I did get in that haul that anyone was interested in hearing about. So very quickly, I'm going to grab up all of the lip products that I picked up, so we can talk about those super quickly. Now, here I have the L'Oreal Colourpop Shine and Sparkling Rose. I've already talked about Glossy Fawn before, so this formula in general from this line that they have, one of my favorites. I love it. I love the color. Very subtle, definitely nude, but a different color from the Glossy Fawn. So something I definitely had to pick up and that I was really happy to find. Next, I want to talk to you guys about the Essence Water Kiss Glossy Lip Colors. So when I picked these up, I wasn't expecting to get the color payoff that I ended up getting, because it's, you know, whenever you see a gloss, you pretty much just expect kind of like a light wash of color, a sheer, you know, hint of color. You don't expect boom bam in your face a major pigmented color. That is exactly what I got. That is exactly what they are. The color I have on my lips right now is Deep Sea Love, and this color is freaking gorgeous. You can see it here for yourself. I was not even seeing what it looks like in the tube, because I have plenty of other glosses that look like they'll be pigmented in the tube and you put them on and they're just sheer gloss. And that's what I expected from these, but it, you know, in my mind that's what I was expecting, so it was okay. They're both gorgeous. This one is called Aquatic Chic, and this is more like a mauve tone color, but it is so gorgeous. They wear longer than I was expecting. They're not super long lasting. They're not going to last you the whole day. If you're eating, drinking, and doing stuff like that, it's going to transfer. It will fade away, but reapplying is no big issue. Very comfortable on the lips. And I said this about the Flower Beauty Miracle Matte Lip Creams, but these have this water-like feel when you put them on your lips. It's like dipping your finger in a cool glass of water and just rubbing it across your lips. I don't know how they do it, but it is the most amazing feeling in a formula. So it's cooling on the lips. It's incredibly comfortable. You can wear it as long as you want, but you know, again, you may have to reapply if you're eating, drinking, or anything like that, but otherwise, I would definitely recommend these to anyone. Those are probably like my top favorite finds out of everything that I ended up getting. So next I want to talk to you guys about the NYX Lingerie Gloss and Shimmer. So the gloss I got in Mason. Nice pigmented color. This is a very cool tone brown, like almost like a glass of chocolate milk. It wore comfortably. It looks really good on the lips. It felt good. There's no super sticky feeling or anything like that. It's surprisingly very comfortable. Again, not long wearing. You will have to reapply, especially if you drink or eat. It will transfer onto straws and lids and things like that. But otherwise, again, very comfortable to wear. And as long as you're not expecting like all day wear, you're gonna get, you know, your more than your money's worth. And then this one in the shimmer in Euro Trash. This, I like the fact that it's not chunky glitters that are in it. There is a very nice subtle shimmer to it. Now on my lips, it ended up looking way more pinky than I was expecting, because to me, looking at the tube, it was a very peachy kind of color, I thought. But then as soon as it was actually swatched and on my lips, it came off looking incredibly pinky. So just a little bit more than I was expecting. Pink is not really my color, so I may or may not be using that again, or I may use it as a lip topper for something else. But for the most part, I ended up liking that a lot. Next up here, I have the Physicians Formula Brow Last. I have it on my brows right now. I didn't think the color was going to match me because it looks very cool tone and taupey in there, but as soon as I brush it on, and because here's the thing, is that the inside of it is this really strange thick brush, almost like a, you know, teeny tiny paintbrush. And then you paint the product on and then you brush it through with the spoolie at the top. So it's kind of a little learning curve, because at first you're putting it on, I was just using a light hand, but at first you're putting it on, you're kind of like, whoa, but as soon as you take the spoolie and you just kind of brush it through, you're surprised at how it kind of just blends through. The only thing I have to say is, if you can see kind of like this like bald looking space right here, I usually have a hard time with products sticking to that space right there, and I usually go in and end up filling it in with a pencil because my hairs there are very, very sparse, almost non-existent. So since there's really not anything for the color to grab onto, then it really won't stay very well like it will on the rest of the brows. But if you put a pencil or something under it, or even perhaps over it, you can fill in that spot and you should be fine. But keep that in mind, sticking directly to skin, it will absolutely not do. The LA Girl Fine Line Long Lasting Fine Tip Liquid Liner, it's what I did my wings with today. This one came out fine. That was the first one that I did. It dries out really fast though, so when I went to go do the second one, you can already see it pulls, it tugs, it's very dry. This has happened to me every single time I've tried to use it. It doesn't matter if I store it upside down. It doesn't matter if I put the cap back on and I do all this tapping motion. It just doesn't have enough liquid formula in the tip of it to really keep a smooth line all the way through, and it takes too long because you figure if you would store it upside down it would keep enough formula there to work for a long time, and it really doesn't. So just not for me. I'm gonna still be on the search for a nice dark brown that I like. I was really hoping to like this one, but overall just not happening for me. Moving on, the Lottie London Stamp Liner. It's how I made the little stars here today. So on one side, you've got the star stamper there. Oh, well, I'll be able to actually show that. But on one side, you've got the star stamper there, which I think is super cute. And then on the other side, you actually have the liner there, which is pretty good. However, it's a little thicker than I would like at the tip, so that's just not for me. And also I find that once I kind of like run it down, it can tend to bleed a little on the sides, and then it's not a saturated color either. Like, it not only does it bleed out, but the color itself looks like a faded marker almost. It's not very saturated with color, so I love it for the stamp, but for the regular liner applicator side, it's a pass for me because I have better ones, so I would rather not waste it for that. But the stamp side, I love. It's so much fun. The Maybelline Total Temptations Waterproof Mascara. I mentioned before, I do love the original Total Temptations formula. The waterproof formula is good as well. It resists, you know, sweating off or anything like that, but as far as being waterproof, it's not. I don't know if anyone has seen the video where I did testing a full face of waterproof makeup, but this didn't work well under that test. So if that's something you want it for, I would pass on this. But if you want it just to kind of be sweat proof, and if you want it to just, you know, for those hot summer days to last better and longer than your normal mascaras would, then I would recommend it. But as far as waterproof goes, I would probably skip out on that one and choose something else. And as for the Real Techniques eye brush duo, I feel like I kind of put my foot in my mouth because I sat here saying, oh, I was watching Emily Noel and she suggested these, and she rarely ever, you know, suggests something I don't like. And yet, I mean, I did say the word rarely, so I guess, you know, I didn't say I always like everything, but I was not a fan of these. For one thing, this one here, which is the Deluxe Crease Brush, this thing is freaking huge. So it was just kind of like stamping almost my entire eye just to get it here, and I'm not used to that. So I don't know, you know, maybe my eyes are just way smaller than hers or not, but this is just, that's way too big for a crease brush. Like, I'm probably going to end up trying to use this for a concealer brush or something, but as a crease brush, no. And then this one is the base shadow brush. It did its job applying the shadow, but it just seems kind of flimsy to me to be a base shadow brush. I'm kind of used to more stiff and thicker ones, kind of like the e.l.f. one that I have. So it looks like that, and it's very thick, so that, you know, but this one is just so like fluffy and flimsy as a, you know, base shadow brush. So I don't know. I mean, I can probably find uses for them, but as much as I was hoping I really would like them and they would be great additions to my eye brushes, these I would give a pass and I really wouldn't recommend to anyone else because I don't like them very much. But anyway, moving on. These two mascaras here that I ended up doing a dedicated video on comparing the two, they're both from Physicians Formula. Over here we have the Lash Contortionist, and then over here we have the Killer Curves. For anyone who hasn't seen that dedicated video, I prefer the Killer Curves over Lash Contortionist. They're both good, but the only thing is that the Lash Contortionist had claims on the packaging that it didn't really live up to, but the Killer Curves ended up doing, I guess, kind of more than I was expecting. So it really won me over. It looked great. It made the lashes look fuller. It definitely added length to them. And the Lash Contortionist, I felt kind of just did more of a situation where it kind of stuck different sections of lashes together, then it really fanned them out. It didn't do that. It just kind of stuck them together, and then I just had several long spiky looking lashes, where the Killer Curves really had them full, fanned out, and thicker and longer looking. So I was definitely loving this one. This one's okay, but I wouldn't reach for it, and I really wouldn't recommend it either. I would definitely tell anyone to go for the Killer Curves. Last but not least, I thought that was last, it's not. Last but not least is the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Multi-Use Concealer. I like this so much more than I thought I was going to. When I first saw it, I was curious, which is what made me get it. So I wanted to buy it. I actually love the little blender on the top for quick on-the-go touch-ups or concealing. This has actually come in handy so many times. I've been amazed by it. It sets by itself. You can set it if you need to, but it actually sets by itself. You absolutely do not have to set it. The only thing that I would say is just when you try it out, look at it under different lighting, because as much as I loved it at home, I went to work and I would be like under the bathroom lighting and I would love it. But then in my office in general, kind of walking around, I noticed the color would look a little different. Even my coworker was telling me, she's like, it looked kind of a little ashy more than it actually matches your skin, but at home and in the bathroom at work, the lighting worked out. So I don't know, this is the first concealer it's ever happened with, because all my other concealers, they match no matter where I am and they look fine no matter where I am. This is the first one that under different lighting conditions, it has seemed different. So keep that in mind. But the formula overall is a really good formula. I've liked it a lot. And yeah, I was definitely happy to get my hands on this one, but I may pick up another color or two just to see if I can play around with matching a little more closely to my skin. It could also be that I've kind of picked up a bit of a tan since the summer has started, so that could be it too, who knows. But that is definitely it for, no, oh my god, okay, sorry. The NYX Liquid Suede Metallic Matte and the Cream Lipstick. Both of these colors are amazing. The formulas are both very, very comfortable to wear. Even though they dry down, they do not feel crusty on the skin. They don't feel dry. I love this metallic matte because all the different like shimmers that are in there and everything, or that metallic look grabs the light. So it's a super dark color on the lips. It looks way vampy and dark, but all the different tones in it, it really looks like liquid metal. Oh, I love the way that looks so much. And here, the cream liquid lipstick in the color, what are you called? Jet Set. Woo, my god. This is what I've wanted like 3 other liquid lipsticks I have bought to look like. You get absolutely full-on saturated color in every single swipe. Even when you're putting it on your lips, there's no fussing around, there's no going back and forth, there's no streakiness. No, you get thick, full on saturated pigmented color from the very second it touches your skin, touches your lips. It dries down, but it stays creamy. It does not smudge all over the place. It doesn't get all over your teeth. It will transfer some if you're drinking, eating, or anything like that, because it's not a complete flat matte, but it still stays with a very strong look. It just looks amazing. That color is just everything. It's worth it. It's totally worth it. If you like colors like that, and you like going way out of the box and just being totally different from the norm of nudes and stuff, that is definitely a color I would recommend to anyone. It's amazing. So now, finally, for real, that is the end of this video. That was everything that I picked up. I think the only other 2 items I picked up were just restocks for me, which was the Wet n Wild Photo Focus and the Wet n Wild Cushion Foundation. Other than that, everything else was all said and done here. So that is all that I have for you today. If you haven't already, please comment, rate, subscribe, hit that notification bell. If you have any further questions that I might not have answered during this, then please leave them down below. I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. You all have a great rest of the night wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.